Our dear viewers, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi continued his state visit to Spain on Wednesday, during which he held talks with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez in the attendance of the two countries' delegations. Following their talks, President Sisi and Sanchez witnessed the signing ceremony of a number of memos of understanding, MOUs, in various domains, and signed an announcement to the upgrade of bilateral ties to the strategic partnership level. They also held a joint press conference during which the Spanish Prime Minister hailed the bilateral ties binding the two nations and said his country was looking forward to broadening relations with Egypt in all fields of cooperation, especially the economic one, while Sanchez described President Sisi's visit as important, especially that it comes amid regional crises hitting the Middle East region, notably the Gaza Strip. He asserted that Madrid fully agrees with Egypt in rejecting the deportation of Palestinians from their land and called for a two-state solution, while the Spanish Prime Minister also welcomed Egypt's effort to settle the Gaza crisis, including the upcoming summit over Gaza on March 4th, in which he confirmed that his country would support all its outcomes. For his part, President Sisi hailed the bilateral ties, which depend on mutual respect and cooperation, and reiterated that the two sides aim to increase the Spanish investment in Egypt. The president also said that their talks tackled the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip without the deportation of its people, in addition to the future of the Palestinian cause, with the two sides stressing the significance of resuming peace talks and holding a Palestinian state according to the international legitimacy and resolutions. The head of state hailed the Spanish courageous and historic decision to recognize the Palestinian state and stressed the significance of implementing the ceasefire agreement in Gaza and reaching humanitarian aid into the besieged Strip. The president further praised the role played by UNRWA in serving Gazans as one of international organizations that work in humanitarian sectors in the Gaza Strip. Later, President Sisi was received by Spanish President Felipe VI, who held him a lunch banquet. And he said that during a statement during the banquet that he appreciates Egypt's pivotal role in attaining peace in the Middle East region. The Spanish king that Egypt and Spain have identical vision regarding the two-state solution. He hailed the bilateral ties in various domains and said many Spanish companies are broadening their investment in Egypt. King Philip also said that Egypt is a strategic partner to Spain, adding that the two sides are working on enhancing ties, while on Gaza he said both sides have an identical vision regarding the two-state solution, while President Sisi invited the Spanish monarch to visit Egypt in the near future, and he invited him to the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. He said Cairo is looking forward to implementing axes of strategic partnership with Spain. The head of state also asserted that Egypt is exerting utmost effort to end regional crises, especially in the Gaza Strip, Syria and Sudan. During his official visit to Spain, President Sisi further met with a number of representatives and heads of giant Spanish companies. To shed more light on the president's visit to Spain, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Medhat El-Meligi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador El-Meligi, good afternoon to you, sir.
Afternoon.
Ambassador El-Meligi?
Yes, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, good afternoon to you. How do you see the importance of such a visit by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to Spain in this very critical timing while the region is facing many crises, as the President mentioned?
Well, although the visit has this economic feeling around it, however, I think that it was very important at this critical moment, as you just mentioned, that this visit would take place right now before it will be held in the Saudi capital, Riyadh. And actually, I believe that this is part of President Sisi's effort to mobilize the world public opinion on what is really happening in the Gaza Strip. And we have to give the credit to His Excellency, the President, and the role he played to change the views.
Ambassador El-Meligi, thank you so much for your precious input. And now we go live to the